I welcome you all in the next video tutorial of pharmacognosy and phytochemistry 2. So we have started unit number 1 and we have covered this first part. It is the study of the basic metabolic pathways, in which we have covered shikimic acid pathway, acetate or mevalonic acid pathway, and amino acid pathway. Now there is a second unit of this second topic of this unit number 1 is study of utilization of the radioactive isotopes in the investigation of the biogenetic studies. So how we will use these radioisotopes in the investigation of these biogenetic pathways. So let's start. So as you can see the heading, that is the study of the technique employed in the elucidation of the biosynthetic pathways. How it has a simple meaning. How we can monitor biosynthetic pathways. And why it is need to monitor biosynthetic pathways? Because we know we produce number of primary as well as secondary metabolites from these pathways, and if we are able to monitor these pathways, and if somehow we were able to faster these biosynthetic pathways, in simple terms I am saying, then we will obtain number of secondary metabolites in short period of time. As we know, plant contain two type of metabolites, primary as well as secondary, and we know plant use these secondary metabolites for its defense mechanism, and they include alkaloids, glycoside, volatile oil, flavonoids, and etc etc. And we use alkaloids, glycosides, and number of volatile oil in different type of industry as a therapeutic purpose, as a general ailments. They have application all over. That's why the monitoring of these biosynthetic pathways is necessary. And what is in our syllabus is the use of the radioactive isotopes. So means this is clear that we use some of the radioactive isotopes for monitoring of these biosynthetic pathways. So let's see which type of radioisotopes are involved in the monitoring of our biosynthetic pathways. So here is some examples of the commonly used radioactive isotopes that we also used for the monitoring of these biosynthetic pathways. Like in nature, it is carbon exists in this form, but as a radioactive isotope, we used 14C carbon. And here it is the toxicity, half-life, radiation availability is given. Okay, in this way we use hydrogen also, sulfur 35 also, then phosphorus, iodine, sodium, chlorine, and cobalt. So these common are the radioactive isotopes we generally used for the monitoring of the biosynthetic pathways. And the technique is known as the tracer technique. Yes, we generally follow the tracer technique. So what is this tracer technique? Tracer technique means radioactive or the radioisotopes are frequently used as the tracers because they use in the trace amount, in the minute, very less amount, or tagged in various fields. So that's why it is one of the important techniques used to monitor biosynthetic pathways. Secondly, we can also use of different type of isolating organs or tissues. Grafting method is there. Use of the mutant strain enzymatic studies are there. Don't worry, you have to do only 2 to 3 methods out of this. That is more than sufficient for your examination. So let's start this first method, that is a tracer technique. So as we have covered, we use different type of radioisotopes which are used as a tracer for the monitoring of the biosynthetic pathways. So the basic principle involved in this technique is that it utilizes a labeled compound. So it utilizes a labeled compound or the radioactive compounds to trace or find out different intermediate and various steps involved in the biosynthetic process in a plant at a given rate and a given time. It means it's very simple. Okay, we use radioactive isotope to trace or to find different type of intermediate that are produced during biosynthetic pathways, because we have already covered that there are number of intermediate steps and that are very important for the production of the secondary metabolites in the biosynthetic pathways. So for that, what we will do, we will use this labeled compound and administer to the plant. Okay, and what we will do, we will use the radioactive compound and will give it to the plant so that they become the part of their general metabolic pool, and we can monitor them because they have capacity, but they are radioactive. We will emit radiation. We can monitor them. Very simple. So here is an example is given that 14C is used by incorporation of the 14C to the phenylalanine. The biosynthesis of the cyanogenetic glycosides can be traced. So this is an example. And we have already seen that there are different type of trace elements used for different studies. For example, if you have to study the terpenoids, you will use which type of atom? Oxygen. Okay, and you will use a radioisotope of that. If you have to study alkaloids, you will use nitrogen. If you have to study the glycosides, you will use carbon. Okay, then nitrogen and oxygen, then sulfur. Because we have already covered this glycosides, if you talk about the classification, C glycoside, S glycoside, O glycoside and N glycosides are there, so that's why we are using them. And for alkaloids, we know alkaloids are the nitrogen containing compound, so we are using nitrogen as a radioisotope for its monitoring in the biosynthetic pathway. Okay, so I hope this will give you a brief idea, because this is very important concept that we will use radioisotope for the monitoring of the biosynthetic pathways. We know there are two type of metabolites, primary and secondary. Why they are important? Because we humans obtain different type of phytopharmaceuticals now. They are employed in each and every industry. They are therapeutically employed. They are used everywhere. That's why monitoring is important. And how we monitor? Yes, we use different type of radioisotopes for the monitoring purpose. Okay, and examples are given. Like for alkaloids, we use nitrogen. For glycoside, we use this. And what are the different methods for investigation of the biosynthetic pathways? The most common method that we are discussing is the tracer technique, and we will focus on this. Then grafting is there, isolated organs or tissues is there, enzymatic studies or mutant strains are there, but we will focus upon that. So I hope this is clear now. In the next video, we will go in detail about this tracer technique, because so far we have covered that we use different type of radioactive isotopes in the monitoring of the biosynthetic pathways. Okay, in the next video we will going to see basic step involved in the tracer technique, how we will use these type of radioisotopes in details. So thank you for your patience in listening. I acknowledge all the sources I have used to prepare this video. So see you in the next video.